By the way, there's one basic rule of law in geology that it's called the law of original horizontality. Big word. Sediments are deposited on, all it is, any sediments are deposited horizontal or nearly so. This is reasonable gravity. But what are they doing inclined? That's how we know we're sinking. So the sinking is beneficial to delta building, but right now there's no more delta building except a third, or 1/3 of the delta building.
Because of the unnatural control of the lower Mississippi.
Man's activity. The prehistoric Indians, well, they say prehistoric, they don't use Indians anymore, it's Native American, but there's no such thing as a Native American. I mean, every human came from somewhere else. And I saw something interesting talking about that. They even thought that some of them may have come from Europe. The Cherokee Indians, for instance, some of those had blue eyes. And they say, well, it could have been the Vikings, but they think that they would have come earlier because the North Atlantic and the North Pacific are communicating for chock-a-block with fish. and so the fish, they went there by boat. Some of them crossed on the ice, but they were fishermen, coming both from Europe and they gradually worked so that some of them got here. But anyway, at any rate, the prehistoric peoples that came down here were part of a culture that was pretty substantial. They're called the mound builders. And we find evidence of them all the way up to the Midwest, all along the Mississippi, and they built mounds. Some of these mounds, there was one mound, I believe, I think it's an emerald mound, or earthen mound. It has as much earth volume as the pyramids have stone volume. And so how they carried that stuff, we don't know. But what we think they did, they built these mounds. They were ceremonial, but mainly to get out of when the river flooded. There was no flood control there. So they had a high and dry place to live. And I found evidence for that right here in Terrebonne Parish, right along this bayou, for instance. Right up here, there's an Indian mound. By the way, the Homer Nation is doing all they can to keep this preserved. We've got a good shot at it. We've got a man that wants to buy it, and we're going to restore it. It's a very interesting mound. We cleaned it off one time, just took the vegetation off a little bit, and there's several layers of burnt charcoal. And we didn't do any excavating, and there were some people that dug a few holes in it, but we think that it may have been a habitation layer. Could have marked the time of a hurricane or a flood. And then after the water subsided, they could go back to business, but they had a high place to go. So it made sense. And there's several mounds, there's two huge mounds at Gibson, which is along the Tesh, and they're much older. But anyway, so the prehistoric peoples had, they lived with nature and didn't do all. Well, now, basically here's the story. We're sinking, and there's no, with the exception of the Chapelaya River, there's no new land being built. Present delta is too far out at sea. The levees extended it out into deep water, so all that sediment is formed on the continental slope. So what's happening is we're sinking, and back in I think about 1980, no one knew what the rate was. So I took my transit, and at the level, I don't remember who came with me, but we went down the bayou. A friend of mine had given me a book of elevations that was set in 1935. I said, boy, this is a good chance for me, because this was 1980, to see if the elevation along those markers are the same as they are now. If they're not, then we know a rate. So I went down, and I found the monuments were all destroyed by when they paved the road. The roads were shelled already.
So the benchmarks were all gone?
Well, no, because the location of the monument was shown, and the elevation was in the book. So I went down. This was right down by the Combone Bridge, the old Combone Bridge. Sienna's little restaurant, Cecil DePlance's place down there. Right across the street there was one. set in 1935, and the book called for an elevation of 5.6 feet above sea level. Well, now, I didn't know what level the monument was, but there was an old gentleman there, and he said, yeah, I remember the monument. He said it was about level with the ground. So, you know, I don't have it exact.
Right.
So what I did, took a shot on the bayou, and that's sea level. I mean, the navigation canal is right there. We have a 1 foot tidal range, so I have a 1 foot, error in there. But I went back twice, and I got the same. The marker called for 5.6 feet above sea level. Guess what I got? It's 1935, 5.6, 1935.
I'd say half.
I got 3.6 in 1980. So that's how many years?
So that's 35. That's 45 years and
Yeah, 2
3
feet.
feet or 2 feet.
2 feet.
Yeah.
So it comes to about
2 foot every 50 or so years.
Yeah, right. Or 6 inches every 10 years. Now look, this is not consistent. There's a lot more subsidence. The rate is higher when you get out around the Barrier Islands because of all. Now here's another thing. This is a natural thing. Nobody's caused this. This is the big geosyncline is sinking. And we know how it sinks. It sinks by little cracks, by little breaks. Thousands and thousands, billions of faults. Some of them only move a few inches. But there's a couple of big ones. There's one run right through Baton Rouge, but they sink and they're all down thrown to the south. But there's another kind of subsidence that we have that's man-made. And that's when you drill a well and you extract hydrocarbons. And there's papers out on this. There was one last year at the Gulf Coast Geological Society, a paper, I forgot who it was, and he talks about this. But it's well documented all over the world. But here in Terrebonne Parish, where there has been intensive drilling, the rate is higher. And of course, I mean, we needed the oil. This was World War II. By the way, the Germans almost invaded us down here to get to that oil. We had subs all over the place down in World War II. But there was several thousand wells we drilled right in that area, and you can see why the Barrier Islands are almost gone, because the rate is higher there. One reason why we know that is because the last island and that changed.
Timberlake.
No, Timberlake is different. If the Teche Delta is in Caminana Bay, like I said, then what islands on the Barrier Islands? Grand Terre, Grand Isle, Fouchon, the beaches, because that Lafourche Delta didn't build much. It was already choked up at the mouth, so. And then follow it all around, and you got to include Timberlake. West, East Timberlake, the sand at Fouchon, Grand Isle, and Grand Terre. And that was your bird food. And look, Grand Isle still got oak trees going. And so, but there's no well right in the vicinity of Grand Isle, not yet. There's some offshore, and there's some at Leeville, but the Grand Isle is sort of sitting on the floor. And actually it's older than the last island, because the other older islands are already underwater. So anyway, I have an outline that I'll give you, and you can look at it. It lists all these things, and it tells which delta, what Barrier Islands are associated with it, and then so we can go through that. But
so that's a history of the geology
right,
of the deltaic formation.
Right. I'm gonna write all this up. I'm gonna write a book because I teach geology, and one reason why I started teaching again. Now this is not in the textbook. But one reason why, because I'm turning out 35 or 40 students a year that know what's going on down here. And we're working closely with other groups like the Barrier Terrebonne. They fund our field trips, Barrier Terrebonne Rescue Rangers. So we got a team. And our goal is educating the people of what's happening here. And I'm so proud, let me tell you.